Julio, lead us, please.
Stop! Yeah, man. Right.
All right. Let's warm up. Move your head. Side. This way. Round. Yeah, arms. This side. And back. And front. And back. And front. Back. Go around. Yeah. Sun. Shoot. Go. Rock. Shoot. Shoot. Hook. Shoot. Yeah. Hips. Go. Go. Yeah, man. Down the middle. Back straight, knee straight, to your left. Other way. Other way. Other way. Yeah. Couple more to go. Yum. Feet out some more. Back straight and forward. Ni, san, shi, go, roku, shi, hachi, ku. All right. Big feet in. Knees down. Back straight. And pull gently. Relax and pull. Relax, go. Ku, shi. Hachi, ku. Ju. Feet out. Tap your toes. Pull gently. San, shi, go. Up, shi, hachi, ku. Ju. Point your toes. Pull on the ankles. Chi. Ni. San. Chi. Go. Look. Chi. Hachi. Ku. Ju. Just side through. Pull the ankle back. Yeah. Other side. Yeah. Backs. Arms up. Bend your left knee open. And then go cross. Back. Other knee bend. Open. Cross. Back. Other knee bend. Open. Cross. Back. Other knee bend. Open. Cross. Yeah. Breathing. Relax your knees. Exhale. In. Out. In. Out. Go. Roku. Shi. Hachi. Ku. Ju. Knees up. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. One more here. Yes. Here. There. Yes. And go. Up. Straight. Up. Cool. Yeah. All right. Okay. Okay. Let's study this a little bit. Left leg forward. Come on. All right. Just 3 up. You choose. Knee. Side. Now going backwards. Make it with the choose. Knee. Side. And going forward. Choose. Knee. Side. Going backwards. Choose. Knee. Side. And Drew, help me count. We're going just like that.
Knee. Side. Going back. Chi. Knee. Side.
Keep going, please.
Knee. Side. Chi. Knee. Side.
One more trip.
Chi. Knee. Side. Chi. Knee. Side.
Yame. Yasme. Okay, so this kind of motion we're used to locking, going forward. This is what I'm looking for. Elbow should not stick out beyond the body line. Some of us are doing that. We're thinking of hooking maybe with the wrist. That's perfectly fine, but combine that with keeping your elbow in like this, okay? So we're gonna do a few more, but slowly. And I want you to be aware of your own elbow. All right, left leg front, come on, I'll count. So slowly, chi. Yeah, where is that elbow? You just did the same thing you always do, right? So play with that. Play with the block coming from here rather than just hooking the wrist, right? Knee. San. So it's very hard to block if your elbow is sticking out like that. This is kind of easier. I had a dramatic demonstration of that working with a left-handed person and discovering that my left arm was stronger than my right arm. And we figured out it's because I do this. I play violin for years and years. And somehow, and by the way, if you're a beginner, they yell at you for having that elbow out. I never understood why, because this seems really awkward. But here, after decades of violining, I just naturally did this, and my left udeoke is much stronger than my right udeoke, and I'm right-handed. So consider this being inside your body line as you block. You can still get that hooking kind of feeling. Right, I've lost count. Come on, one more time. San, come up. Yeah, we're going backwards now? Okay, backwards, chi. Going back. Ni. San. Yame. Yasme. Okay. So that is the going front arm basai kind of feeling. There are at least two udeokes, both udeoke, but distinct, kind of different. The one is our old friend basai, where you're doing this and going in, right? And marching, you want that same kind of feeling. There's another udeoke where it goes like this. So this is also udeoke, like that. All right. And the other, I don't know how to practice it marching, but I want you to experience that. So I'll tell you what, just be there in natural stance, let's say, and have your knees bent just a little bit and experience this udeoke. All right, so just in natural stance. Ready? Ichi. Either hand, I don't care. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Roku. Shi. Hachi. Ku. Ju. Yeah. Okay. Pause. Yeah, Vincent of Cupertino. So what I'm doing is, you're faithfully executing the first flavor one, this continuity. What I snuck on you was this feeling. It's very rotational, right? So the one is very aggressively linear, marching forward or back you want, just knocking the guy back. But this one is very deflecting, if you will. So at the instant of contact, the guy gets over to the side. And if you, I'll do it closely, slowly, so you can steal this from me. The wrong shoulder is front. Yeah, so do that for us, will you? Just see if you can. No, wrong shoulder is front. So from here, take your left hand out, stick your left arm, reach out with your left arm, reach a little bit across so it covers the center of your body. Now bend your arm. Not your hip, bend your arm, and now turn counterclockwise so that your left hip is going back. That's right. Continue your block. Yeah. So that's also udeoke. This is a little bit different. So for the guys at Lake Forest, Carlos and Val were practicing on the mat. I'd like you to make this one of your practice specialties, right? People with higher degrees already know this instinctively. I see them doing it. But what you gotta, when someone's coming, you gotta get this move down. Yeah, it's a rear hand block when you're working on your routine. Okay. Simple questions about udeoke? All right. I'll Ed Yang, it's the other hand. Block with the other hand. Yeah. So I'll talk you through it again. I'm not sure. I may have confused you. So from here, which is going to be your blocking hand? Pick one. Okay, good. All right, stick your hand out a little bit across your body, a little bit across. Yeah, right. Bend your elbow. Yes. And now twist your body counterclockwise. Okay. Yeah, but your opponent is still here, is in front here.
Okay.
So keep facing me, keep facing the front of the camera, and your hips torque. Your hips go with, oh wow, okay, that's very extreme, but that's the right idea. Yeah, yeah, something like that. And your elbow wants to be very close to your body for this. Let him come to you to where you're stronger. You don't have to stick your arm out. Okay, well, that was Udi, okay?
So Manfred, I had a question on Udo, okay?
You?
Yeah, the
You
standard,
don't.
standard version here. Since I pulled my arm further forward and here so that I don't have chicken wings,
Yeah,
and if I block to my edge of my body line, my back
yes.
is all wrong, right? So I
Yeah,
have to
it's,
be just about here. Leaves this nice little window to take a punch. So
what's your hip
as far as I
doing?
can tell, if I'm going to use front uke, I have to turn.
Yes,
I have
okay.
to overturn. I can't get to the edge of my body with my arm. I have to let my hip finish the front block. Because my elbow cannot come in. My elbow only goes about this far. And so I have to turn a little bit. Otherwise, Phil just hits me straight away. This is as far as I can go and not have chicken wings. So I
Yeah,
have
is this
to,
a flexibility thing? 'Cause,
yeah, up here. Yeah.
well, you're muscle bound, right?
Oh, that's what they always tell me.
Yeah. Okay.
So you don't need that. You don't need to have a little bit of a turn to get this.
If you're using a front arm block, are you going in or yeah, it doesn't matter, I guess. Yeah, I would go ahead and make that turn.
Okay, because
Yeah.
I've been using this if I really want to not get hit. Backhand
Yes.
block.
Yeah.
That is my favorite. If I want to get hit, I use a front hand inside form block. So
but yes, and the flavor one, going like this, I tend to like to.
be going in for that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But if someone's coming in, you're right, I do tend to do this because
Okay.
I can't afford to clash bodies very much. Not a lot of people smaller than I am. That's a good one. Yeah, Greg brings up a really important point that we didn't. Okay, we'll blow it. But the shoulder blades tucked in. This is one of those universal things that will mess with you. Yeah, all over the place. And there's Jane practicing. Very good. All right, I want to touch on Yoko Gary Kikomi. It's not my favorite kick because I don't quite have the flexibility to choose lots of targets. However, it's a great kick against the knee. I'm talking smaller people to bigger people. There's a tremendous range of target heights when I look at 6 foot something people, but the range of where the knee is not so drastic. So it's perfectly okay to kick the knee, all right? I want to touch on this training method. If you have a chair, grab a chair for a steadying thing. Because if you're just doing it in free space, you will be distracted by trying to maintain your balance. Be distracted from making point I want to do. So you grab your chair. Everyone got a chair or something? Okay. So we're familiar with the practice of lifting the knee and pointing and then thrusting it out, right? Is that head nodding? Okay, couple of head nods. So this this thought of lifting the knee and making a thrust and coming back, that's very good as a starting point. The next level of practice should be grab this. When I lift my knee, already start to open your hip like this. So when the knee comes up, already open the hip and start aiming the lower leg. So here, it's open and finish the thrust. Already pointed there. So from here, knee comes up, but open, and this, and come back. All right, so on your own, yeah, don't do a show off quick kick. I want to see it done slowly. All right, just do a few on your own. And you can switch legs whenever you want. Greg, this isn't your favorite kick either, is it?
No.
Yeah, you're doing the two-step, the two-stage movement. Right. So, all right, pause. We'll share this comment with everyone. But I'm trying to get you to experience. If you do this, and it must be done slow. And if you do, I think I did 200 one night because they made me do it. It wasn't my idea. But in only a couple hundred kicks, my side thrust kick improved right away. But it has to be done slow. Right? So rather than up and down, this is a famous torture thing. But if you do it slow, somewhere along the line, you'll feel like you're kicking with your knee and not your foot.
Okay, not the foot.
Yeah. If we think about the foot, we think about somehow getting the foot moving. But if you think more about the knees and the foot is just a foot away, the foot is just an extension of where the knee is going. That's a different thing that's happening in your mind. So this is different from, right?
Okay.
That's a good way to learn how to make that thrusting feeling, but to make it one, the knee kicks him. Yeah. So it's got to be, the practice has to be done in slow motion. I don't want to watch you do it 200 times. So please, next time you're not doing anything,
Okay.
it doesn't have to be 200, but just play with this a dozen times, let's say. Maybe you start with a favorite leg that's more talented. Sometimes it's not always your favorite kicking leg.
Okay.
But do that with one leg and then have it teach your other leg how to do it. Like that. That's a practice method.
Thank you.
Manfred, is that kind of like that returning wave feeling? I almost feel like I'm pulling in and then doing that.
I think that's an okay device to make it smooth in one motion.
Yeah.
Yeah. A returning wave to me takes a little more.
Yeah.
This
I wonder
takes time, right?
the
This
beginning
takes time.
too much time. Yeah.
This is like that, as opposed to wah,
Okay.
wah, wah.
Yeah.
Not instead of ba-bam, ba-bam,
Right.
wah. This is still two motions. It's
Mm-hmm.
still two, no matter how quickly you put it together, it's still and kick, and kick, and kick, like that. But from here, the knee goes,
Mm.
so you get the height. The knee does go up, but your hips open while the knee comes up and, right? I stole this from Mark Kurogura.
I was going to say that I've watched Mark's and he can do it in one movement. And I know I've always been doing this crappy two-step thing.
Well, you know, you can take them on after just a few hundred of this.
Oh, okay. Wonderful idea.
Yeah, but I haven't discussed it much with Mark because it's his thing, right? So someday I'll exchange words with him. But from observation, stealing from watching him, that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
Right. I have exchanged words with my senior Phil Morgan, and he's landed on the knee thing also. This was his favorite kick. Back when we were proud of ourselves for doing 1,000 kicks, you know, he said to himself, personal practice. Anyone can do 1,000 kicks, but not everyone can do 1,000 side thrust kicks in one sitting. How? So he did. It became one of his favorite kicks. So there. Comments, questions about this? I'm dropping these things for you to go practice on your own because I have a short attention span. I don't want to watch you do 200. Yeah, it doesn't have to be high, Alex, as you figured out, but get your knee moving at the guy as it comes up. Yeah, you're still faithfully doing what your senior taught you when you were a white belt. Yeah, but that's still a two motion kind of kick. Okay. Everyone know the moves to Basai? Just wanted to do a few. And then we'll take a little something. I want to work on combinations. And then we'll go back to Basai. All right? Let's get the moves. Basai.
Basai.
Yo. Ichi. Ni. San. Shi, yo, ku, shi, hachi, ku, yo. This is not kibadashi for those of us making kibadashi. It's just standing. Chi, ni, san, shi, go, roku, shi, hachi. Cool. Chi. Ni. San. Shi. Yo. Ku. Shi. Hachi. Chi. Ni. San. Shi. Yo. Ku. Shi. Chi. Ni. San, shi, yo, ku, ichi, ni, san, shi, yo, ku, shi, hachi, ku, yame, yasme. Okay. Let's put Julio to work. Could you count one by one, please?
Basai.
Good.
H.
Ni, san, shi, go, ku,
H.
ni, san, ni, san, shi, go, ku, shi, check, ku, jump,
Hey!
H,
2、3、4、5、6、7、2、3、4、5、やめ。
John Rosen, on the first PI move, your hands are down here. For me, but you put your hands about here. About here.
Hey,
Okay.
hey,
All right. I'd like to count one by one, please. All right. Ba side. Yo. So, ichi. Ni. Where's your opponent? Straight along that line, right? San. Which leg are we standing on? Okay, very good. Shi. Go. Roku. Shi. Hachi. Okay. Ku. Ju. All right. So we're in this stance and the left arm is out. So ichi ni. San shi. All right. Without moving your left foot, start the move. Go. Okay. Roku. Front back real quick. Shi hachi. Cool. All right, John, I'm going to be watching your fist when you make this kick. Ju. Yeah, really hard to break a habit, isn't it? Chi. Knee. Back. Sun. Open. Shi go. Slide in. Both feet slide. Right. Behind you. Ichi. Ni. All right. Let's go back again. We're going to, when I say ichi, we're going to go in like this. And on ni, which is that next move, think about your left arm. That left arm is kind of weak on a lot of people. Remember that's useful for a down block kind of thing. So that has to have verve as well. All right, so facing away from me, you just did the sliding in bunch. All right, turning around, ichi, catch, ni. Both arms doing something. Excellent. Okay. San, slide back. Shi, going in. And some people moved their foot before they went in. This is perfectly right because your foot, can't stay that way into the next move, but start without a preliminary move of the foot if you can. All right, so we're down in this kibidachi and block, down block, right? Ni, san, shi, go, roku, shi, chi. All right. So from here, let's see, when you make this double punch kind of thing, vertical fists vertically aligned, see if your hip can just shift in as you make this move, just an inch or two. Right from here, chi, knee, come back, san, shi, go. That's a ki move. Right? Chi. So here, where is your left fist? It's on your hip? Yeah, yeah. And this one is very common thing to have your two fists moving independently. But let's go back to the ki move. And as you come around, have a staff in your hands, and have your left fist on your hip and use that to help your right arm execute its technique. Right. So from the ki move, facing away from the screen, from here, you come around. Don't just bring your left fist to your hip and your right arm does a block. Move them together and anchor that left fist onto your left hip. Chi, knee. Right, go back. So what I would like you to have as you come around is not just getting into a stance and the two arms moving, but if your left arm is anchored to your hip, left fist is anchored to your hip, and your fists are, if your hands are connected, you can't help but move this guy to help this this technique. Yeah. So the hips just come around here. I see this a lot. Hips are not doing anything. You want to move this whole thing, and that will throw something or disarm the sword. Play with it in your own time. Just those couple of moves. Pam's got the right idea, because I can see a postage stamp size picture. Yeah. Yeah.
So Manford,
Hi.
coming around,
Yeah.
seems like the hip goes here and then the hip has to come back some.
Yes.
Hip go both ways? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It kind of overshoots or something to be able to engage, and then there's that whip, and that's what throws the guy's sword out.
Great. Thank you.
I took a Jodo seminar one time because, and this is one of their tenokata kind of things. They have like 10 things, and this was one of them. It looked just like you're facing a guy with a sword, and then you engage it, and then you disarm him. Of course, we're thinking of maybe scooping a kick, and that's okay too. Speaking of scooping a kick, where's your head pointed when you make that move? Everyone go ahead and make the move, get down there and make that throwing kind of thing. And yeah, you notice you're kind of slightly maybe looking at the ground or something. You ever wonder why? It's a great demo, but I'm not there. Yeah, so Jane's tucking her chin in. And that's why it looks like you're staring at the ground a little bit. It's a bad thing to stare at the ground in general. That's not what she's doing. She's tucking her chin in. And what's the opposite of that? doing that, right? So anyone who's ever tried to make a noisy key and having someone come back, they just grab them and give a slight tug and they totally lose it, or just, all they have to do is touch here with a finger as you're making noisy key, and you just can't push. Doesn't work. I don't know why. It's a thing of the human body. But this, see, I'm not looking down. There's a pivot point. It's not here. Pivot point's quite high. But here, when you're tucking in your chin, you can direct whatever it is in that direction. Excellent. Well, gee, I'm out of a job. Yes, Ed.
Manfred, so if we tuck in our chins, but I guess my question is that, but where do our eyes, what direction are our eyes looking at? Is it going straight forward or is it?
Yeah. Does the text say something about your eyes are so many feet away from you on the floor?
Okay.
Or is that another kata? Does anyone remember what there's some mention in the text? So that would be a clue to the chin tucking thing. And
Okay.
Pam's looking it up real quick. Thank you, Pam.
Manfred, while Pam is looking this up, I have a similar line of question. I've been waiting all week to ask you. I feel like I'm on a different reality because with the three moves here, I clearly remember at some point people telling me a similar thing where your chin slightly tucked and looking at 45. But if I saw some people here doing it looking straight ahead, and then we looked at the book says look straight ahead, and the photo actually shows Sensei looking straight ahead. Do you have a comment on that?
That's related to what the move originally was, right? You caught me. So the original move was
Right.
this position of the fist. And this is what the kata says. So my answer is you can do either one, and along with this thing too. You can do either one, and either I'll say, okay, I guess he's read the book, or I'll say, okay, I guess he was at those practices where this was given to us.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, gosh, there's another real similar one where there's a departure. Well, there's this thing from Dankaku. There's this one in Gion, right? So I would accept them both, but don't make up too many different flavors. And you may have to explain yourself to a scholar by saying this was done, this was given to us at practice.
Thank you. That helps a lot. Appreciate it.
Yes, Pam.
There's nothing here about where you look in those two moves.
Okay.
It does say you should block as low as possible. I can read this to you out loud if you would like.
No, we trust you.
There is something interesting in the previous move, the double hit, where he talks about they're grabbing your hair and you're just basically letting them take your hair as you strike them.
Yeah, this is the old, yeah.
And it says here, this is an example of the tactic, quote, cut his meat while cutting your skin, unquote. Parenthesis, i.e. take a cut skin to inflict a cut muscle.
Yes. Right.
So
This is the rather than pulling away. We learned this in Torite development. Rather than pulling away, we just go into him. And by the way, I like this because this gives me one of these, and it's here. Right? Remember that Basai came from what was what was likely a bow kata. This is part of our folklore. So a bow is a staff, which is why Pam had one ready and was immediately able to experiment with some of these concepts. So keep this in mind, and yourself in your spare time, get a broomstick and play with some of these moves. And I'll let you, I'll spoil the surprise for you, but if you play with some of these moves with a bow, immediately your hands get connected. And immediately you have a head start on moving your whole body as one. That's a magic phrase. When this guy becomes one, he's really dangerous. So enough of the two hands moving independently. It's a good start, as long as you're facing in the same direction. But being able to move the whole body, it takes a 90-pound sack of cement every time and drops it into your target. Okay, enough blabbing. Any simple questions on the particular move? You all have this, right? I think this is a good kata, even to throw to the white belts to get them started on one of our key.
Actually, can I ask you a question?
Yes, and then we'll get to Dan. Sorry. Yes.
Okay. How do you imagine the opponent on this scooping block, and how low do you go, or it doesn't matter?
I bend my knees, and I'm doing a scooping kind of I have a stick in my hand, and I'm in my mind, personally, I'm doing one of these that makes it go like that, and then I'm hitting. 50 years ago, there was a knee raise and knee comes down. That's the picture in the text, I think. But because we could not find mention of a stomp to emphasize this, at least go here, and I go as low as the knees. Don't bend, stay vertical. We used to do something like that. But we couldn't find mention of that. So we've not been stomping in the last few decades. So if you see someone stomp, you can say, you must be an old guy from way back, or you refuse to change. Did that kind of answer?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. In Kanku, there you do a similar kind of a thing, maybe, but we keep our legs straight and bend our body. I don't like that, but that's what it says to do. All right, Dan?
Yeah, it was brought to my attention that, in Basai, this part is open hand, right? And then like a Gion, it's closed hand. I mean, what's your thoughts on the different open, closed hands for different katas?
I think we have to do what the text says. If it says open hand, then I'll think about I'm grabbing, I'm somehow able to grab something. And if it says fists, I feel much better about punching in to get into position to make the move. What I'm, no one's listening, right? What I've been doing lately, though, is this move, appears quite a bit in kata across lots of different disciplines. And we've been saying, make it a throw against a kick. I'm going back and rereading the text to reinforce the idea somewhat. But sometimes the text says it's a double block, upper level block and the lower level block. That's why I said earlier don't neglect breaking the leg and maybe block, upper level block here with this hand, right? This appears in other disciplines. So I can offer a speculation that there was a time when, hang on, when this kind of thing was very interesting because of a possible opponent. Since he was exploring the roots of Hangetsu in the mid 70s, right? And he encountered a school that practiced this kind of a thing. He came back and put some of us through this exercise where they take a lot of punishment and they attack just the eyes, and you can't hurt these guys, right? And they do just very short little kicks. So this kind of move, which we brought into Heian Sandan, is to fight those Goju, what became Goju style kind of guys. I'm rambling. I'll try and be a little more organized. You just caught me in the blabbing moment. I'm going back to this, and I'll admit I have a bias because my favorite kata has a move kind of like this.
Yep.
Right? So which is unlike how the rest of the world seems to do that move anyway. The rest of the world wants to do this and then do some kind of a thrusting thing. In this school, we don't do that. Right? If we do this and then do that as a separate thing, Sensei will yell at us. So I've been yelled at a lot. So I have this habit. And I'm thinking this is very handy. I've proven it sometimes just for fun and exercise. I was kind of trying to avoid saying some stuff, but I hope I gave you some kind of answer you can take away.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Yeah, we can talk privately.
Okay.
All right. Other Basai things? We have a long ways to go. That's okay. Let's do a few with no numbers. And those of you guys that I've made some comment to, when you get to where you think I made some comment, slow down, change the move a little bit, and then continue the rest of it. Because if you just blast through it, you'll never tweak your kata, right? Slow down, do that thing, and then keep going. All right. Drew, no numbers, please.
Messiah! Your smack!
Okay.
Come in. That's me.
Again, please.
Aside. Your smack. Jasmine.
Once more.
Aside. Good. Smith. Jimmy. Jasmine.
Pam, what kind of surface are you on? Is that carpet or not carpet?
It's
Or-
carpet.
It's carpet? Yeah, that might explain it. That Yoriashi is kind of hard to do on carpet. A hard surface is easier, but you're stepping instead of Yoriashi, right? There's this magical translation thing that's supposed to happen. Yeah, it's like you're stepping. Your back foot's coming up and you're going in. So carpet would aggravate that. Greg, well, you know the Gion one, right? And you know you land and you grab the ground as this goes in, the Gion move, at the beginning, right? 1, 2.
Oh, yes. Okay.
So that kind of coordination, I think, is a good thing in those that second ki moves. Second ki moves. So I have been yelled at for showing my upper body strength and going like that.
Okay.
Just throwing like that, and he goes, no. And that's why I was suggesting we look for hip motion. So there's something about here and that, but this being slightly on the skateboard and this.
Okay.
The timing though is kind of, it takes a very delicate timing where you have both feet and the ground to help you, and then it gives you that impulse, right? It's
So
not
almost a tiny Yoriashi.
almost a tiny Oriashi, right?
Okay.
It was not at the same time, which suggests that you can get away with. That's kind of a same time kind of thing, right? So this mix, and this is just thrown in there. He didn't like that. At least for a very small guy, I guess it's laughable. But going in and going and taking this and using
So
the
as soon
force
as this front can touch and can aid, it can pull.
something. Yeah, but you don't have to Yoriashi because the back foot being planted to drive
Okay.
is perfectly okay here.
All right.
Yeah. But that Yoriashi meaning that the hip goes like that with both feet going. That would make a mo better second ki move.
Thank you.
Okay. Now for everyone, there are 2 flavors of the opening move, the first move. Those of you who are doing the baseball bat thing, coming up and going Yeah, thanks for loving your senior who taught you that. But I'd like you to experiment with from here. Like that. See what I'm doing? There's this, I'm not strong enough to lift it and then swing it, right? It's a little bit heavier than that. So from here, so I'm ending up in this, but there's this big two-handed mace being brought up from the ground. I believe, of course, I used to hang around LA with the Sunday practice and all that. I believe this is Sensei's move, right? Was this way. And then he would hit people back then too, doing that. But I don't believe he did it this way. I think it comes swooping upwards, right? So there are two flavors of people. They're the ones that love their senior. Yeah, okay, do that. But consider this as a stronger hit. Now, for everybody, no matter which one of those you do, right? It's unforgivable to have your hands separate during that move. So here, it's one unit, and it's by the limits of, and that's where it stops. Right? And that's why it ends up here. It doesn't go like that, right? So if you hear, if you see an air gap, or if you hear a slight slap, you can do better. So in your spare time, just mess with how to do that. Make this one unit, this two-handed mace, and Jane is doing it. She is making her hip go at the same time, right? So in a sense, this is fine, but in my mind, my knee is going up and I'm pouncing in and I'm body checking the guy too. That's kind of cheating. You're supposed to do it with your blocks, but using my whole body, and you'll see that kind of sideways, and my front foot is turned a little bit, so you have to forgive that. But fortunately, you can't see my feet today.
Manfred, one question on that opening move. I used to think it was a knee going straight, but now I'm feeling like the knee is actually going this way as I finish that move.
Remember I said I'm slightly sideways? And I
Yeah,
don't know if it's because I have a Kibadachi habit, or that's why my hip is, and I have limited opening ability anymore, but that makes a lot more sense to me.
yeah.
That's my habit. I
It feels
also
like my
think,
two halves aren't quite aligned.
right.
My bottom.
And I also think that having your knee turned just a little bit this way, as you're doing, right, is safer than having your knee this way.
Right.
Yeah, this way. So, maybe for the photograph, you right, picture, but in what I actually do is I'm this way, and so you saw my foot turn, right, without looking at it, but my foot turn and my knee, okay, kind of doing this.
Yeah.
Which is safer, I think, against an opponent.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so I'm agreeing with you for weird reasons that are mine. No questions? Let's do a couple more. Drew, please.
Aside. Aside. Good. Smash. Smith.
Just a quick thing, Olive, you don't have to reply, but Olive, make that last step a little more deliberately, right? Yeah, a little more deliberately and be advancing on the guy. That stops the fight. Right? Otherwise, like this, you're just making a step, like go in, and then they call you, right? Again, please.
Aside. Aside. Yours. Smith. Jimmy. Smith.
Okay, any last questions before we move on? I just want to do a little bit of combination basics.
Manford, this move here, this next move, hip forward, hip coming back.
So for me, right, on that, right,
Okay.
on that, I've crushed the guy and he's falling to our left.
Okay.
Yes. And then there may be flak or debris. So the important thing I'm doing is I'm pointing. I'm going to be pointing my hip in a
Right.
way to. Yeah. So I'm doing that rotation.
So you could do it with turning this foot coming back. You could do it with this foot coming forward.
I footwork should not matter, but
Okay.
as a personal thing, what I'm doing is my this foot here is lightening up because what I'm doing is going bang this
Right.
way, and when I'm in my mind, I'm going bang, and then I keep him going in that direction on that side, right? So in the spirit of having the best stance with something here, right? What I'm doing is standing here, and I'm still thinking in, personally.
That's what I like that too.
So this coming back would be maybe a more cautious idea, but I am doing this. I'm messing with the move to illustrate the point, but that's what's happening in my brain.
Great, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, just a few notes about combinations. Let's step back a little bit and march. We'll go 3 and 3. We're going to step in and make Gedamrai Gyarzuk. Not very many. So I left again. Come on. Gedamrai Gyarzuk, marching 3. Chi. Ni. San. Okay. Stepping backwards. Ichi. Ni. San. Putting Drew to work, forward and back, just like that.
Chi. Ni. San. Hey! Son! Hey!
Continue.
Chi! Hey! Ni! Hey! Son! Hey! Chi! Hey! Ni! Hey! Son! Hey! Chi! Hey! Ni! Hey! Son! Hey! Chi! Hey! Ni! Hey! Son! Hey!
Pause. Okay, switch to Udi. Okay, Gyakuzuki. Continue.
Chi! Hey!
A little different, huh?
Hey! Son! Hey! Chi! Hey! Ni! Hey! Son! Hey!
I like Get Down Bright was better. Go back to Get Down Bright.
Chi! Hey! Ni! Hey! Son! Hey! Chi! Hey! Ni! Hey! Son! Hey!
Pause. Okay. I'm seeing very good Get Down Bright, seeing very good Gyakuzuki, but I am seeing Get Down Bright, Gyakuzuki, right? The project is to make Gedan Gyakuzuki, make it two distinct articulated techniques. The Gedan Bright should have a focus. It should break the leg. And the follow-up punch should be well articulated, but think of it as one feeling, two moves, but one continuous feeling. There's a break. I'm seeing there's a Gedamrai, Kyakuzuki. It should be bam, 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 right? So it's anyone who's ever done this will know that there's this, and then there's the Gedamrai changes just a little bit because it's a double tap. And we'll let you discover what that is. Continue counting, please.
Good. Chi! Hey! Ni! Hey! Son! Hey! Chi! Hey! Ni! Hey! Son! Hey!
Once more.
Chi! Hey! Ni! Hey! Son! Hey! Chi! Hey! Ni! Hey! Son! Hey!
Yame. Yasme. Okay. So the point of that is that when you block attack, it's got to be one feeling, whatever that word means. The opponent has to have some perception that somehow his attacking arm or whatever was destroyed, and at the same time, it seemed he received a counter punch somehow at the same time. So the cheating is to not finish the block and then go in for the counter attack. That's not the same thing. The guy feels like Schwarzer and then the punch. He's got to feel like the arm crumbles and this is happening at the same time. That's what one feeling is. All right, comments, questions, arguments? Okay, it's a simple concept, very hard to demonstrate. Let's see a couple more laps. Now that I've thrown those words at you, slow down a bit, see if you can do it. Couple of laps. Drew, please.
Boy. My chain, left leg forward. My chain! Chi! Hey!
Yame. Yasme. All right. So is this kind of mentality or this kind of feeling you want to cultivate when doing tenno kata? It's the words are that tenno kata is kind of a training method for real combat. If you think of one feeling with these two moves, that's what you want to do in kumite. Right? And with all respect, I think we have a long ways to go to get that feeling. Yeah, me too. I need to practice this also continuously. Okay, last comment, argument. No arguments today.
I'll go. All right, he's done.
22 push-ups, go. Jump. Breathe in. Out. In. Out. Once more in. Out. Thank you. Let's line up. And I can't see, so Julio Ligas, when we're ready, please.
Muxa. Yeah, man. Right.
Thanks all.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.